Welcome back to the International 2014 Chinese Qualifiers. Here in the Tiebreakers, we are in the first round for the fourth place Tiebreakers Hyperglory team going against Dreamtime. I'm Whatisip, and with me for this game is going to be Mott.
Yeah, looking forward to being in this game. Obviously, it's been a long night. We have, I guess, the same amount of tiebreakers, actually more than we've had recently. One more game. So 4 tiebreak matches coming up here, and this is arguably one of the best ones. The thing is, Dreamtime, they were sitting at a pretty decent record at the time. It was going to be, I believe, if they had won the game against LGD, they would have been 6-3. They would have moved on to play up against in that second place tiebreaker with CIS and Tong Fu. Instead, they're playing for the 4th place spot here to make sure they even get into the playoffs to begin with. So they would have secured a playoff spot, but now they're not looking so hot. So we'll see with that loss to LGG if they can get back into it, and we'll see how they play up against Hyperglory team, a team that's also not played too well today.
Yeah, I have to say, HGT over the entire tournament and even the last couple days in WPC, they've been okay, but sometimes they have really weird drafts.
Yeah.
They draft CTY mid Tidehunter at one game, and it didn't really work out.
Yeah.
It wasn't really high impact, so we'll see if it can go better for them this game. We're going to hop into the draft here as it is just underway. And, what do you think so far?
Well, they grabbed the
10
ancient apparition
seconds
for
remaining.
Dreamtime. That's solid. I haven't seen them run it as much. They like to pick up heroes like the Rubik
5
and
seconds
obviously other
remaining.
high-impact supports like Tree Protector, which is really
Dire
very solid. I
team
think
pick.
Tree Protector is probably the biggest support in this patch right now, and people love to pick him up. Ancient Apparition is still very, very good, obviously, with his Ice Blast. With Chilling Touch as well, which they nerfed in that last patch. Still solid, especially if they have a really decent tri lane. You get some nice supports come out, get some range supports, even some maybe a range carrier to get that Chilling Touch damage to be really, really nice to have in a nice little defense or even aggressive tri lane. For HGT, they grabbed the Tree Protector.
10
They have
seconds
picked up
remaining.
ZSMJ heroes like Brewmaster in the past. They picked him up kind of semi-carries.
5
Lifestealer is something
seconds
that's been more of a
remaining.
hard carry for him that he did really well with. I think the first time I saw him, they'll pick up the DK, which is probably going to be for CTY in that mid lane, who's a very solid DK player. I like the pickup. Dreamtime, though, I don't know. The thing is, I haven't actually seen too much DK from Chinese teams, whereas I've seen it banned and picked in a lot of the other qualifiers thus far.
Yeah, and the NA qualifier is definitely a mainstay of a lot of those teams.
Yeah.
NAR, they play that hero every single game they can get it.
Yes.
And, we'll see. I don't know, because it seems like some of these
10
Chinese teams
seconds
are a little bit
remaining.
too tentative to just ball up and push.
Yeah.
They like split
5
pushing a little bit
seconds
more.
remaining.
And, the Dragonite is not quite as good for that. Still okay, but he benefits a lot from having a
Reserve
little bit of
time.
support to help clear out some of those heroes. He's got a great stun, not too much damage on heroes in the early game.
Yeah.
Does need a little bit of assistance in that regard. But, we'll see how it works out for HGT. Like you said, most likely that's going to be CTY's hero. And, again, this is an interesting ban that I've noticed through a lot of these qualifiers. OD, I haven't seen him picked yet, but he's been first-round banned selectively.
I think it's because Dreamtime know that HGT like to pick him up with the Pugna because of the Essence Aura. You get those procs coming up from Nether Blast and pretty much whatever else you throw it down like a Scrapify. Getting that mana back is super nice to have to stay in your main or your lane presence rather, and just being able to do that is pretty solid. CTY plays a pretty mean OD mid, so it's not a surprise they banned it out. This obviously gives room for Dreamtime to pick up a Darkseer, which I actually haven't seen Injuly play a lot of. I've seen him do a lot of Centaur. I've seen him do a little bit of Clockwork here and there as well. But Darkseer, I'm sure he's played it before. I think it might even be in one of his top picks. But very solid hero. Obviously very solid in lane. You can head back to the jungle if you're having a rough time. We'll have to see what he's going up against right now. A Tree and Protector is not going to be an issue because that Leech Seed doesn't really... Surge doesn't care about Leech Seed in terms of move speed. So shouldn't be an issue for the Darkseer, at least not yet anyways. I like the start of the drafts for both teams,
10
and
seconds
we'll get underway
remaining.
here in the second ban phase.
Second ban phase, Axe has already been banned out
5
here by
seconds
Dreamtime,
remaining.
so they're very aware of the weaknesses of this Ancient Apparition.
Yeah.
That's aggressive tri lanes against him.
Reserve time.
He does not have a lot of HP.
Yeah.
Very easy to take advantage of that.
Radiant team banned.
Yeah, Axe is somebody also that HGT have played, I believe, before as well. ZSMJ, I think, has been up on him. They can just, if you're going aggro try, you can just dive towers, you can creep cut, which is really, really solid. And, you'd be surprised. You think about some of these Chinese
10
teams, and again, a
seconds
lot of the flack
remaining.
comes from, they don't pick up these, interesting kind of lineups where you just
5
go super
seconds
hardcore early in the game,
remaining.
but that's changed, obviously, a lot. So,
Yeah.
with the lineup they have right now, I think
Reserve
Hyperlord team
time.
want to be kind of aggressive, as that's kind of their play style with CTY and with ZSMJ, and we'll wait and see what the next picks are.
Moving forward here for Dreamtime, I think they're going to be possibly looking to secure themselves a Morphling here
Yeah.
in the next pick phase. We've seen XDD play that hero a ton, especially in combination with the Ancient Apparition. It's a really great lane, obviously. You've got a decent attack animation on
Dire
Morphling.
team
Pretty
ban.
easy to get that extra chilling touch damage in. They ban out the Luna here. A little bit down a different path, and honestly, Luna has not been great in these qualifiers. I feel like every time I've seen a Luna, they've just lost.
Yeah, it depends on the team that's playing it, obviously. You
10
have to secure
seconds
that late game
remaining.
farm, and some people are kind of hesitant to throw the Luna in an aggressive tri
5
lane. We have a really
seconds
solid dual
remaining.
support lineup, really like 2 really solid aggressive tri lane supports. So if you throw the Luna in an
Reserve
aggressive
time.
tri lane and you win that lane, you shut down the carry, you get
Dire
more room for your
team
Luna,
pick.
and you can go from there. You can transition that into an early team fight with Eclipse, and we saw LGD do just that in that last game against Dreamtime. So Dreamtime, it's clear that they don't want to go up against the Luna like they did in that last game. They maybe feel like HGT's CSMJ could go really hard with that.
Radiant
HGT pick up the
team
Rubik.
pick.
2 stealth supports already for Treant Protector and Rubik coming out for HGT. Spell steal wise, you've got the Wall of Replica, you've got Ancient Apparitions, Chilling Touch.
Vacuum is pretty insane.
Yeah, Vacuum is really nice as well. Iron Shell is even pretty good, and Surge is even pretty strong on top of that. So there's a lot of spells here from just these 2 heroes at Rubik's disposal. I believe Pretty Haw's the one to play that.
I think so.
And he's also played like weird supports. Like he's played like a 4 Bat Rider at points
Dire
because of like
team
greedy drafts and
pick.
stuff like that. But Dreamtime, they go for the IO. Interestingly enough.
Well, Wisp, I wonder if we're going to see a Tiny here. That's actually something that I haven't seen nearly as much as I thought.
Yeah.
Through WPC, through the Summit, Tiny Wisp was huge. It was in a lot of the games, and, well, we apparently are having an issue with in-game. That's probably on me.
10
Oh,
seconds
Rip.
remaining.
It's on me. I blame the last person that used this setup. And, well,
Radiant
no Tiny
team
Wisp
pick.
the really all at all to speak of, and we have seen Wisp in some lineups.
Yeah.
I cast a Wisp Pudge game, and
There it
it is. There's the Tiny. So a little bit of a
Dire
different direction
team
than that
ban.
Morphling, but still pretty strong in the late game. And well, the only thing that I don't love about Tiny, not quite as good with Ancient Apparition, obviously a little bit harder to land that damage, but I do really like Tiny in the mid game. He's a little weak in lane, but
10
in the mid game,
seconds
relocate
remaining.
ganks are pretty sick.
Yeah, you talk about the mid game, and I agree with you 100% because not only do you have Tiny and
5
IO, but
seconds
once
remaining.
Ancient Apparition gets level 6, if you have relocate gank going, if you hit the Ice Blast, you pretty much get that kill. Like he'll throw up the
Reserve
Avalanche, he'll throw up
time.
the Toss, and he'll go from there essentially. So I think for IO and Tiny, it's pretty solid for them. It's a good start with the Ancient Apparition on top of that. The thing is, I just
Radiant
don't see
team
Dreamtime do
ban.
this a lot. They might have done it in these qualifiers, but I haven't seen them do it, and I've seen a lot of DT games. So either they're holding onto this strat or they wanted to try something different here. This is certainly in the realm of different. I mean, we talk about these teams, and I don't know how comfortable they are with the Tiny and the IO strategy. That seems to be something that
10
Fnatic loves doing, a
seconds
lot
remaining.
of Western teams love doing. But for DT, I don't know how it's going to play
5
out.
seconds
HGT pick up
remaining.
Nature's Prophet, so we'll see how aggressive they want to be here
love
with the
this
split
ban.
pushing. And
Dire
the ban
team
from
pick.
Pugna immediately just to make sure ZSMJ not picked up so that they have no other pushing presence, at least not from that Pugna coming out for HGT.
I really like this ban. I think Pugno is also just very good against a lot of these heroes that Dreamtime have already, but the push that he could bring here with the Nature's Prophet, with the Dragonite, that's exactly the kind of team that Pugna loves being in. You can just push down the lanes, ball down there, and just start wrecking those towers very, very early.
10
You don't even
seconds
necessarily
remaining.
have to wait for level 6 on the Dragonite just because you've already got Nether Blast. So
5
I
seconds
really,
remaining.
really like that ban from Dreamtime, and I think it could save them a lot of headache. Tiny Wisp do need a
Reserve
little bit of
time.
time to get some levels moving along
Yeah.
before they can disrupt those push strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing is right now HGT are in I think a really solid position. And I mean, Tiny and IO in lane are okay. Ancient Apparition in lane
okay.
is okay. With a Rubik and a Treant Protector, and maybe another hero here, they can even go aggro and disrupt that, especially with the Weaver as well. Like, it's going to be tough to really catch him out of
Radiant
position. The thing
team
is,
pick.
Tiny can Avalanche, and that could kind of shut the Weaver down. Other than that, unless you get a Tiny Toss Avalanche combo, Weaver probably won't die. And with Treant Protector, with Rubik, that's a lot of damage you're going to have to deal with in that lane.
Yeah, and I mean, IO and Ancient Apparition, those are two really, really paper-thin supports.
Yes.
Not a lot of HP at all, and that's kind of where Weaver thrives, getting that extra Scucci damage, some Geminated attacks
10
on there.
seconds
You can
remaining.
easily chew through those supports pretty quickly, throw a Fade Bolt on there, and God forbid
5
Treant gets near any
seconds
of those
remaining.
heroes, it gets ugly really fast.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So, I wonder, the last pick here for Dreamtime looks like it's most
Reserve
likely
time.
going to be Air's hero.
Yeah.
Unless they dual lane middle, which is a possibility, but with Ancient Apparition seems extremely unlikely.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if they don't dueling, if they do dueling middle, then maybe their dueling in is going to be kind of weak, and you have to be concerned that HGT might run an aggro try. So I feel like
Yeah.
Dreamtime, no matter what, are going to pick up a hero that can mid lane here, and how they lane it is up to them afterwards. So for HGT, the thing you have to think about too is like, do they want to send the Nature's Prophet up against the solo offlane Darkseer, or solo versus solo in that regard? Darkseer is okay. Actually, he's pretty good in that matchup, but the Treants can kind of hit him and kind of get him low.
10 seconds
Unless, obviously,
remaining.
the Stout Shield's going to help out a long way for him. But again, it really comes
5
down.
seconds
They're
remaining.
going to go for Wind Ranger, which is interesting. They could easily send this into another lane other than the mid, but Air can obviously play it mid. Shackle Charge are going to be huge because Nature's Prophet's going to be on the side. They've got Tree Protector, so we're talking about, like, it's weird to talk about trees, but I think that's going to actually be kind of an important note. Like trees and how they line up for shackle shots. And remember that game we saw June just go absolutely
he went
ham
so fucking ham.
with the Wind
Prepare
Ranger?
for
I feel like
battle.
that's a definite possibility here for Air. Like, this guy can play some really, really solid heroes that require a lot of micro. You talk about Brewmaster, and when you get an Aghanim Scepter, how much micro that actually requires. And not only that, but skill shots and things of that nature. So for Air, I feel like this is a hero that's going to be really interesting. So far, we don't get an indication of the lanes, but we are going to jump into this game. It's the first tiebreak match out of 4 that we've got going on tonight here on Beyond the Summit 2.
All right, well, going over the teams here for Dreamtime, knocked down into this position from an unfortunate loss to LGD. It's going to be Super on the IO, XDD picking up the hard carry, the Tiny Dreamy U, going to be playing that Ancient Apparition Air. Hyped up heading into this qualifier, and I think he's performed pretty well. Probably 2 expectations on the Windrunner. And last but not least, in July, he's
30
also been an
seconds to
all-star
battle.
for DT. He's going to be playing the Darkseer this game.
Yeah, so no surprise that he's on that Darkseer. He's going to be in the off lane as it stands right now. They might rotate him through. Air is going to stay bottom for right now, but we're not really sure just yet. If you look at it, Tiny's actually XDD rotating mid, so it looks like they might dual lane, but we'll wait and see. Into the introductions for HGT, Hyper Glory team, up in that top lane. In the river right now, you've got Pretty Hall. He'll be on the Rubik here, looking for this top rune in the lane itself, or close to it, rather. It's going to be S. He'll be on the Tree and Protector. Back at the base, or close to it, is ZSMJ. The Legend will be on the Weaver. In the mid lane, it's going to be CTY. He'll be on the Dragonite. And to round it all out, the off lane, Nature's Prophet, XTT. So no aggro tri-lane for HGT right now. They just want to secure ZSMJ, his farm. They love making sure that he's doing well early on in the game. It is going to be that dual lane mid right now as it stands for DT. We'll see if they want to change things up here in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty favorable matchup for DT, keeping this dual lane middle. It helps shut down Tiny a little bit, but mostly he doesn't really have too much he can do to stop this, at least at early levels. Once he has a lot of levels of Breathe Fire, it can get a bit dicey for the Wiz, because HP is obviously not very high, only 473 heading into this game. And this leaves a fairly good matchup bottom. Windrunner can pretty easily wreck Nature's Prophet. You've got a really good attack range, have very good base damage as well, especially in combination with Chilling Touch. So I think, given the fact that HGT did not go aggro here, Dreamtime have sort of caught a break and also set themselves, I think, in a pretty advantageous position.
Yeah, they really need to make sure.
It looks like they were pretty unsure about this too. If you look at Air, I mean, he started with a very mid build with Null and 2 shared tangles.
He actually only, I don't think he had, I think he just had the Null on him, I'm not sure. He actually had 625 in gold, I think, and then he bought the Null outright at some point, so he actually wasn't sure altogether what he was going to do. So, yeah, they wanted to make sure they had the laning right, and they were absolutely correct in that, Mark. The thing is, they need to shut down XTT here. I feel like in a dual lane, usually it's going to be kind of tough to get the kill, especially because he has boots of speed, and they need to hit a big shackle in order to get the kill, and that probably requires a little shackle, which Air hasn't skilled up yet. So I feel like XTT is probably going to be okay here. And by the same logic, well, actually, it's a tri-lane top again for HGT, and a pretty difficult one at that. So Injuly is going to head back home.
He's out, dude.
Probably get a couple levels and then head back top, I'd imagine. But for now, it's just going to be jungling for Injuly
It's just not worth the risk at this point. I mean, with Lift into Leech Seed into Weaver hitting you, pretty easy for Darkseer to die at these early levels. So he's just going to head in the jungle, get those easy levels, much safer there. Air, level 2, holding his point. Probably, I mean, you don't really want to get ganked here. It's a pretty low possibility, but there's a chance you might need to drop a point in win run, so you want to hold on to that, but most likely he'll grab Shackle from here and then max out this power shot to really try to abuse XTT if he does go for Phase Midas like we'd normally expect. power shot will take huge chunks out of his HP.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
XTT,
super gonna hit him with some
he's
balls
doing
here.
the smart thing here.
Regeneration.
Regen rune, though, only getting a little bit of mana off. And like you talked about, super going with the, obviously, the spirits coming out just to make sure that they did some damage there, and he couldn't get that regen rune for scot-free. But actually, what happened in the mid lane, CTY got tossed back by XDD, but they didn't do any damage. There's no mana after that toss from XDD, so they didn't really have the potential to kill him here. Like you talked about, already 2 buffs in Dragon Blood. So defensive for CTY. He just wants to make sure he stays alive, even at the cost of his own CS, which, by the way, he's at 7 right now, 8, so not too terrible, considering he's up against the dual lane in mid. Doing a nice job getting last hits with just his right click and rather than his breathe fire. Top lane in July has rotated back up here, so no surprise that he's made his way. Now that he's level 3, he has got 2 points at Iron Shell. He'll probably get 2 points at a Surge next. Wrap around maybe from Dreamy, but XTT is doing an excellent job down bottom using his Nature's Call to scout things out.
Yeah, and he also is harassing down the Ancient Apparition, so he kind of gets a 2-for-1 here. And it's certainly a really annoying for Ancient Apparition because clearing out those takes absolutely forever. And now we do see Air going with the expected build here, is going for points and power shot as well as those phase boots. And well, we'll see what Air can do on this Windrunner. This can definitely be one of the highest impacts heroes in the game, in my opinion. Shackle Shock sometimes can just be absolutely game-breaking and just immediately turn the course of a fight. So Air, he's performed well in the Brewmaster. We'll see how he does on the Windrunner. I'm certainly excited.
I think, CTY getting caught out mid, Avalanche is going to go, but just a little bit of harass damage, nothing too crazy there. But we've seen Windbreaker both.
We can just do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, bottle crowing is going to be really important now, or not even bottle crowing, rather rune control for super, which as an IO that needs to be your job essentially. But XTT has shown already that he's going to try to get rune control as well. But for Wind Ranger, we've seen already in I think these Chinese qualifiers, and yeah, it was June playing it on CIS, and he had such a high impact. Scotty, really nice build. He was able to get a lot done with it. XTT again with rune control. He's got to grab the haste rune. So now they're going to go top, though. S getting caught out. The last right click going to go. And that's going to be Super getting the first blood. So despite not getting rune control, they will get a kill on that tree and protector, getting caught out of position in that top rune area.
Yeah, sometimes you get a little bit punished for parking yourself up there. So pretty hot. Continuing to help secure farm here for ZSMJ. He's been pulling, just trying to make sure that he can get everything out of this lane. He is level 5, so he's pretty much gotten all the experience. And in July now is back, and we'll see how he does in this lane. He is taking a lot of harass already. Does have the soul ring up now, though, so that gives him a lot of HP regeneration. As long as nothing crazy happens, he should be okay. Also has the salve, so
yeah,
I think should be okay for in July in that top lane now, as long as nothing crazy happens.
Yeah, XTT, he'll rotate back bottom. So if we think about offlaners, XTT is doing okay. He's sitting at level 4. He's sitting at 3 last 6 in July, sitting at close to level 5 already. So he's doing a bit better, but he has that jungle to work with. Now the Surge going to go through. No, he cancels the animations. The SMJ running in right now. Telekinesis is there. If they want to pull him back, they'd rather have him use the Surge. But there it goes, the Leech Seed. No body block there. In July, going to survive. He has the Stout Shield. No way they're going to get that done unless they bait out that Surge, which they could not do. So.
He did a good job holding that. Yeah. That's very tempting, and just waiting there for the Leech Seed definitely saved his life.
I agree with you 100%. So, I mean, you try to hold it as long as possible, at least the telekinesis, I mean. If you can't get it done, then it's unfortunate you waste a lot of mana, but zoning out in July is very important. He got very low. He's actually going to have to go back to base, and this gives a little bit of time for XTT to catch up. He can also head to the jungle at some point. I'm surprised he hasn't. Smoke of Deceit gang coming out from pretty Hall Nest. They're going to look to make a rotation on mid. This could be a big boon for them and give them a lot of room here to work with. We'll see if they can get anything done with it.
Very far forward, XDD. He has got quite an aggressive position, and they drop the Elder Dragon form. There's the Dragon Tail as well. XDD, he's up in the air. They lift him, don't put him anywhere. It looks like he gets a toss-off, trying to make something happen. No, XDD teleports and then helps clean that one up. So fairly easy kill there for HGT. They do have to commit a bit to it, but they get it nonetheless, and that's the important part. Meanwhile, though, Air, he is forming up a storm. 40 last hits. Looks like he is going to be going for the 4-stat first.
Super getting caught out. CTY got that double damage rune. He just had enough mana to use his Dragon Tail to stun up the IO, who was going for it. He was so close to getting it, but unfortunately he will go down. Now CTY getting a big boon. The thing is also, that was kind of a sketchy engagement for HGT. They got a 2-man avalanche here. So Pretty Hall and S got caught out of position, and they probably wouldn't have had to rotate in the Nature's Prophet had that not happened, but better safe than sorry, and obviously getting him involved is not really that big of an issue, so...
Well, they do need to be a bit careful here. Yeah, Wisp can easily get chunked down by this double damage Dragonite, but good positioning there by DT to keep everything under control. XDT coming down the bottom lane. Air looking to play a bit aggressive here. It looks like nothing is going to happen in the end, but Air, he is just so fun.
Yeah, he's got a lot of last hits right now. He's doing really well in this lane. He's got nobody to really contest against him, so, and he's also doing a lot of tower damage, which, yes, you could say that the Weaver has a Midas. I'm not sure when ZSMJ got it.
He just got it.
So, I mean, like 7 minutes in, and that's a bit off for ZSMJ, who's usually known for his farming prowess. Wind Ranger, though, Air is solidly ahead from CS right now, and they just continue to not only get him farm, but experience as well, just because IO's here helping him out. I think Dreamu has been stacking, or he's been doing something. He's been kind of roaming around level 5.
Basically. Stacking, calling. Just getting experience for himself while not taking any away from Air.
Yeah, that's important.
That's the important thing, and well, we'll see where Air decides to go. It looks like this. Oh, yeah, it's actually going to be the mech carrier this game. Interesting. They're going to favor this utility team fight, knowing that HGT are going to be looking to pressure them. This item actually makes a lot of sense after you consider the fact that they're going to be pressuring them pretty continually here. In the next couple of minutes, I'm actually surprised we haven't really seen them group up and try to take down a tier 1 yet.
Yeah, I mean, well, for HGT, they'll try to put some tower damage here with the Elder Dragon form when, like, maybe some people from DT leave. But yeah, Smoke Gank, they're going to wrap on XTT. Toss, Avalanche, not quite there yet, but there it goes. XTT is going to fall. He's just an easy kill. Yeah, absolutely easy for XDD and for the IO rotating in with, of course, Super there to help out. So that'll almost get 6 for the IO. They'll look to maybe pressure this tower here. Air and XDD kind of out of mana, so they maybe won't be able to clear the creep wave, but I think they should be able to take this tower nonetheless. So
yeah, it doesn't even look like anyone's really interested in defending it. Toss there by XCD. I hope that doesn't come in to bite him, as there's a lot of TPs coming back in. CT-wise here, there's the Dragon Tail. Another TP. What a shackle shot, though, by Air. Is it going to be enough to save XDD? I am not sure. It doesn't look like it. Down he goes to the Rubik Fade Bolt. And meanwhile, Nature's Prophet also killed the IO, so that's really not good.
Yeah, that's not really what HGT wanted. They were so close to getting that tower, like you talked about. The toss was, I mean, they wanted to get some tower damage up and try to take it down as quick as possible. They didn't anticipate the rotation from HGT. How could you? ZSMJ has been farming pretty well top. Ice Blast is going to sail through. It's going to hit all 4. It does a lot of damage. They'll time-lapse with ZSMJ, but that's all they're really going to do. There's going to be some super reactions coming in right now. CTY might get caught out. Super going through. They have the living armor up. XD running with this phase. I don't think they're going to get anybody here. Maybe ZSMJ. Shukuchi's going to go through the deny from in July there. Pretty Hall might get caught out. ZSMJ. Now he's going to fall here. Pretty Hall. Toss. Avalanche done. XDD gets the kill. ZSMJ is going to leave, but and Dreamy is here to help out if necessary.
No mana for Shukuchi at this point. Does not have treads or anything to tread squad.
I think, though.
Looks like he is okay. And there, I think it's going to continue this pressure. This tower was denied down here. Dargus going to keep it up. Toss back. CTY. Can he make it out of here? It is so tanky with that Bracer and Treads. But a nice A ulti is going to come through. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it gets 1. And another as Air power shots him down. And a toss back. Tiny grabs the Rubik as well. A really great fight for Dreamtime, as they get a lot of return kills after losing that initial skirmish.
I mean, that's what happens when you get 4-man Ice Blast. You're just like, okay, we don't have a mech yet. We have no real regen. We need to back off. We also want to defend this tower. We have no Elder Dragon form. Our Weaver's out of mana. What do we do here exactly? And they stay a little too long at that tower. Rotations from DT. They knew they could win that fight again. Big shackle shots again from Air. Power shots on top of that. His mech very close to done, if not already. So, Air's been playing really well. I've got to give credit as well to the Darkseer throwing up that wall. That actually did enough damage with the nuke, but oh, no. Wind Ranger, do not buy the mech, because guess who's getting it? It's going to be Darkseer, who has the buckler as well, so please no 2-mech condo.
Picnic, please. Oh, God. I hope they don't buy 2 mechs. That's the most embarrassing shit ever. That's just like, sometimes you just make assumptions, and, well, hopefully that's...
You know what they say about assumptions.
Yeah. I do.
Don't make them. Just don't make the assumptions, guys. And, well, that's going to be the drum now for Tiny. And phase drum here, solid choice. Might go Blink a little bit later, but...
I wonder if this is going to be Blink, or if it's going to be like an Ag stand. I mean, I think you need to get as much damage as possible out of this Tiny. At some point, he is going to have to go Ags. Blink could be okay, given that there's a Rubik and top and relocate as well. Are they going to catch one in living armor on CTY? He drops off the stun on XDD, and it looks like everyone is all right, and they're just going to head back.
It's a bit of a mood killer for your first relocate.
Yeah, that's
just like you're at the prom and all of a sudden your date's like, no, I'm not feeling it right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the bus. It was kind of smelly, and Now we're here and the food
I've got
sucks.
gas.
Yeah.
It's not going well, guys. So it's a bit of an inauspicious start for that relocate.
Dyer's
So
middle
XTD,
tower
he tried
is under attack.
he tried to do what he could, but it just really didn't work out there. They didn't really find anybody. The relocate was kind of off the mark. So, but I like the aggressiveness from DT.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
I mean, one relocate gank that's failed does not negate how much they won in that last engagement. So, again, mech not being purchased for Wind Ranger. I have a feeling she's probably gonna go for another
I think
item.
she realized.
She's like,
She bought the
"Ah,
headdress and now she's saving up. I think she knows. Given the amount of money, I think it either could be the core staff. It also could just be a blink damage.
Not playing TTY, looking to make it go in July, but he should be okay. He's got a surge. Telekinesis, wall is going to go up. Now they're going to bring him back as well. The overgrowth is going to fly. No Dragon Tail just yet. There it goes. The Brute Fire, the right click. Ice Blast is going to fly pretty hard. No! You were so young.
I don't know.
I think he's
It's
dead,
gonna be
dude.
close. I think he's dead.
he's dead.
Yeah, there he
Boom.
goes.
Dyer's middle tower is under
Well,
attack.
it doesn't look like anyone else is going to die. A couple of these heroes were rather close to shattering, but in the end, they're not going to. XTD wants to get the tower down. It goes.
Dyer's
Gets
middle
the avalanche
tower
on
has
ZSMJ as well,
fallen.
making sure that they can't get that deny there. And keeping an eye here on the Windrunner. What is the choice?
It's just flying out. That's four staff. Fair.
fine.
That's fair. I mean, what do you go for when you pick up a headdress and you're just like,
Oh,
well,
relocate top. They're going to try to go in on XTTs in the woods. Power shot gives them vision. What a toss back by XTD. Down he goes. That was a really nice coordinated effort there. And now they're just going to head on back to where they came from, continue on with their journey.
And I gotta say also, Avalanche works really well against instant spells. We talk about it against, you know, obviously Cage Refraction, but against Living Armor, it's just as effective. So the fact that you're able to just pretty much obliterate all of those instances of Living Armor is very, very important.
Yeah, if you guys did not know, it's a bunch of different damage.
Yes.
So it's good against those
I
abilities.
don't know how much it is actually. It doesn't say.
It just splits it evenly over 1 second. I don't know how many instances it is, but it's a lot. It's a lot
It's
of
like 3 or 4, I feel like, or maybe even 5. So
Haste Rune here for the Weaver ZSMJ. It looks like he's going to be going for the defensive build with Lincoln. Not too much of a surprise there. And, well, they're going to crash into this tower finally. They 5-man up. And Darkseer, he has that mech, right? Yes, he does. We'll see if Dreamtime will be looking to defend their tier 1 tower. There would be their second down.
they can defend it. They've got Tiny. He's getting kind of close to Zags, but the more important thing is they have mech. They have 4 step now in air. They've got all of the items here.
4 Staff's a huge item. Lets you line up really big shackle shots. You can often get multi-hero shackle shots just from the help of Windrun as well as that 4 Staff. So we'll see if Air's able to deliver in that regard, because if you don't, Windrunner is really not that good of a hero. You really do need to hit those shackle shots.
Yeah, I think that it really comes down to Air's play here in the next couple of, I guess,
it's
engagements.
huge in the mid game. When no one has BKB's, shackle shot definitely reigns supreme, and looks like the Dragonite is going to be going for that Treads Bracer BKB build. That's going to be coming up next. Power shot stolen by Pretty Hard. That's really annoying. Killing touch coming down. He has a JK damage. XPD up in the air, coming back in. They're moving in on S. He's going to get blown up now in the woods. Pretty Hard is shackled. That's the kind of thing you're looking for. Down he goes, and TT look like they're starting to run away with this one. The pressure just not enough for HGT. Looks like they are going to try to grab Dreamy U. Another shackle's going to come through. Toss in the air. Down he goes. Exploded again. XTD's doing a really great job with his toss avalanche combos. Now CTY, he's on the run. Can he make it out? It doesn't look like it. He's going to fall down as well. And Dreamtime get a huge trade in their favor. Lose nothing in the process and are also going to be taking down a tier 1 tower.
That's like them. They lose pretty much nobody. In fact, I think it was nobody.
I think they literally lost no one.
I don't think they used the mech either. No, they did. Okay, they used it a little bit early on in the fight. They get the tower on top of that. They get like 3 or 4 kills. I think it was 4 when it was all said and done. That's huge. That is such a big boon. The Tiny pretty much has his Zags right now. I think he's maybe 1 component away. No, he's got it. XTD has Zagdams at 60 minutes in. Phase Drum Ags. And it's not a byproduct of his CS. It's a byproduct of them being aggressive and taking down towers. So
I wonder if you go... I wonder... They're really far ahead. You could go for a blink. It's definitely risky. But there's a lot of low HP heroes here. Like XTT, pretty much everyone but Dragonite is burstable. Treant is a little bit more difficult, but I think you can do around 800 or something if you do the combo correctly.
Yeah.
And 1 right click will be more than enough to clean that one out now that he is swinging for over 200 damage. The more conventional choice obviously would be an attack speed item. Something like an AC.
Yasha.
Yasha as well. Really good on Tiny. Gives you the move speed as well. And we'll see where he decides to go. I'd love to see a Blink Dagger because Blink Tiny is probably one of my favorite things ever, but probably unnecessary with the Wisp. But, you know, a man can dream, Mott.
I mean, like, Honestly, I'm not going to complain about having a Blink Dagger on a Tiny. Like, nobody's going to say, that item, no, I don't think so. I don't think he's going to pick that up, no. I don't want to see that. No, like, honestly, I feel like...
It's a fun item.
It's fun, yeah, absolutely. It's fun, and in this instance, it makes sense. Especially against, like, a Weaver. I think it's really good. Gap closing against Weaver is it's a pretty big deal.
Can negate BKBs with it.
Yeah, other than that, maybe if you're trying to get the jump on a Trait Protector who's going to, otherwise overgrowth you, there's a lot of opportunities here for Blink Dagger Tiny. Blink Dagger Darkseer makes as much sense, but he picks up the Overgrowth Club, which probably means BKB for Darkseer, which is very early. I don't even know if he needs this item. Or
that
this is going to build into an Ag.
Yeah, BKB doesn't actually seem that good here.
Halberd maybe, but even that's
Halberd seems kind of ass on Darkseer. I think you'd
it's
rather
not really
go
Halberd carrier.
Yeah, it's not like he's like a DK or something.
No. Yeah.
I'd rather see this be an Ags, but I don't know. I mean, generally, you would not buy the...
The thing is, I guess Breathe Fire should keep your damage getting negated there.
I mean, I guess you stop,
Telekinesis, if you're going to go
I guess
right
you
in.
stop whatever Rubik steals, which is probably, honestly, the biggest deal. Like Shackle or Vacuum or something. But, I don't know, man. I'm not sold. If this is a BKB, I'm not sold.
Well, I mean, spell still goes through BKB.
No, I mean, like... You still steal it, but when he literally vacuums.
I got you. I understand. But like, you're not gonna need that for like if you're. That's more for the rest of the team, if anything else. And then you get like a pipe or something. You worry about that later. I don't think
I don't know.
impact in this game
Dire's
is
middle tower is under
going
attack.
to be. We'll see how it goes. I guess there's still a lot of time here left in the game. But like you said, it feels like it's going the way. For HGT, they need to get some more items up here. And CTY, he had like an Ogre Club or something on him. It was actually on the Courier, which died apparently. Looks like we missed that, unfortunately, but...
It wasn't a
yeah. There is a Midas now up on the Nature's Prophet. XTT.
Dire's
He got
bottom
off
tower
to a
is
decent
under
start, but
attack.
nothing really coming of his involvements in a couple kills. Telekinesis on the IO illusion, how unfortunate. That is not going to be something that is real. And DSMJ, who usually has a very large impact in these games, I just don't know how I feel about the Weaver in this game. Maybe if it was in an aggro tri lane, might get caught out. There's a Sentry Ward here. He's going to run into the trees, and he probably should be okay. At some point, DT will buy a gem, I'd imagine. They've got plenty of gold up on a lot of their heroes, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, and CSMJ is just having problem with massive farm here. I mean, he hasn't gotten a lot of kills, has 100 CS, but he's gone for a lot of items before the second, so it's extremely delayed. What's stolen? It's going to be Surge. That's not the end of the world here, and continuing the pressure. CSMJ. Putting a little bit of pressure out here, but looks like he's going to clear out.
Middle
I think they would
tower is
benefit
under
from a gem at
attack.
this point. It seems like it would be pretty big for them, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like, map control is going to be really big for DT.
Yeah, because honestly, you want to make sure you know where everyone
Dire's
is, right?
bottom
You want to be able to
tower is
relocate on
under
them.
attack.
You want
Yeah,
to make sure
exactly.
that
That's
there's
the
Dire's
support there.
structures
So
are
I think the gem
fortified.
is a multi-purpose tool here. You've got some good carriers. Darkseer, he's a decent gem carrier. Tiny,
Yeah, he's fine.
good as well.
Yeah, either of those heroes, it'll probably be Darkseer. I feel like if he's got an empty slot, which he doesn't yet, but you're exactly right. I mean, just jumping on heroes with relocate is going to be... It might not be as a big deal as it once was because of how far DT are ahead in this game. If we look at the graphs, it's actually almost 10k gold right now, which is pretty ridiculous considering how long this game is. Experience-wise, it's getting to 7,500.
Relocate top, they're going to come back in.
Dire's top
They want to
tower
take
is
down
under
the tower.
attack.
And he tosses that with. Not sure why XTV does that, but
Well, you get tower damage, so...
yeah, I'm good. Really
Dire's
worth it?
top tower has
Is it worth
fallen.
it for the toss? That's pretty low cooldown. I guess the mana is kind of an issue, but he's got a wand, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
I guess it's okay when you've got a wisp bottle and you up.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, right now, like, you were talking about the relocate gang coming in, and they have plenty of aggressive vision right now, which is like, once that relocate's off cooldown, they can go for a couple more ganks here. It's also really important just to make sure HGT aren't farming their jungle to get back into the game. Which, I mean, they have a lot of heroes that can just enter the jungle, just farm for ages and go from there. And that's probably what they want to do. XT will split push eventually, but he's not getting a lot of time or space to do that. The Weaver's trying to get farm in the jungle, or actually that's bottom right now, but he's not even close really to his Lincoln Sphere. He got a Midas first, so...
I went Midas Trezacula. That's a pretty...
It's like 7 minutes too. It's like a 7-minute Midas, or not 7 minutes, but it was kind of late for CSMJ. Maybe not super late, but maybe you can get it a bit earlier. XDD has a Yasha, so we talked about that. The move speed, I think, is just better than going for that AC straight up right now.
I agree. I think AC is a bit later.
Oh my!
CTY is shackled. He's stuck to the creep. Again, a huge shackle shot, and CTY explodes in the back of the A ulti as well. XDD gonna finish that one pretty off. He's gone as well, and DT are just getting some huge kills here, really, for no investment as they just knock down these towers. And HGT, they're supposed to be the ones putting on this aggression. They don't have any counter push. All they have is CTY's Freeze Fire. That's not good enough when he's getting blown up like that. He is their biggest hero, the one with the most HP, and he just gets blown up instantly.
Yeah, honestly, like right now, it's just DT won the laning phase so hard that this is like they could just take towers like this, no problem. I mean, and really it didn't come on the back of like any specific lane. It came on the back of a missed fight for HGT down in that bottom lane. Like there was no point for them to take that fight around that tier 1 tower in that bottom lane for them. They just got caught in a position. They lost like 3 or some odd heroes. They're going to relocate down bottom. XGT might be in trouble here. The tether's slow going to come through. He's going to try to tip you away. Toss Avalanche not available, but doesn't matter. XDD, he swings the tree. Whack, whack it goes. He gets the kill. Yeah, he's punching him. That's
now he's going to go for the AC after you get the Yasha. Like you were talking about, I think the move speed is definitely extremely valuable. It gives you that extra attack.
Look at his net worth,
well.
man. Look at his net worth. It's gross, like how far ahead he is right now.
Oh my god. I mean, he's got 158 CS, and he's got 8 kills. He has it all. He's living the high life here. 21 minutes in the Tiebreakers in 2014.
I don't see a way HGT get back in this game. ZSMG has like nothing right now. Like he's
this build seems so greedy. Like he had bought so much stuff before buying an impact item, and as a result, he can't really like do anything. He just hangs out kind of. Like he farms. He doesn't have a lot of damage in fights. He can't really go into fights because his link is so yeah. He'll just get blown up by the line.
He's alive, no blink dagger. Not there. No, he's alive. They get a nice hit up there. So, and they stole a wall rep as well. It's pretty hard getting that. That's nice to have, I guess. But 1 kill and a kill they haven't gotten. They haven't gotten anything in a while. XDD though, going to kind of think he's stacking. I'm gonna say something here, but yeah, I agree with you. ZSMJ. I mean, he knew they were going to be aggressive from the get-go. I mean, this is a tiny IO combo that we're so used to seeing, and it just kind of
after 10 minutes, they're going to be relocating on you, trying to kill you.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't know if he itemized the best here. Maybe just go for a straight-up Flinget Spear against Shackle Shot. It's very solid against even. I mean, even just Shackle Shot alone is fine. Avalanche is going to go
ZSMJ, and here he goes up in the air. But time lapse is back, trying to make it out, and it looks like they do not have any protection.
Yeah, they
need to buy that gem. It's about time.
I mean, like look at the greedy.
I mean, he has Ags.
Yeah, he went Ags first. I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna be like, yo, don't go for that Aghanim Scepter right now. We really need that gem. I mean, if you have like a 10k gold lead and you're like not dying to the Weaver, there's no point in really prioritizing that over an item that's as big as an Aghanim Scepter.
Things are going well,
and especially because everyone else can buy it on the team too. I mean, it would be a fine purchase for pretty much
bought
anybody.
a Blink Dagger. He also has a Vlad, so
why not?
These supports are super luxury at this point.
They're really farmed.
Gem
like,
has to be on the list to buy.
Net worth, they're like, the Wisp is pretty much as farmed as that Furion who's in the off lane. So
yeah, he's now building towards a Shadow Blade. Gonna be going for that split pushing build, but Hex is up now for the Windrunner. And well, that's gonna be some serious trouble for ZSMJ. Finally, the BKB is done for CTY, but they find him. Are they going to initiate on him here? Here's the surge. They also found Pretty Hawk. He's on top. He is just dead.
He threw the wall down. He knew he was going to die, so it's a smart play just to get it down, just to make sure that he got at least something in that play. But
yeah, and do you know if that Wisp bug is still there?
Which one?
Where Blink gives you like a 2,000 range tether?
I don't know. There seem to be a lot of bugs surrounding the IO. I don't know
we'll have to watch, but I know there was a bug where you had like a 2,000 range tether or something. Well, that could definitely be the reason he goes for that.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure myself. I haven't seen the IO. Well, I've seen a lot recently, but I haven't really been paying attention to bugs and stuff like that. I don't really know, but at the same time, like, either way, this IO is still doing work. And with the help of XCD, I mean, like, XCD is... I was concerned about his play in the last couple of games, and like the DT that's showing up for this game here against DTC is like the DT that should have shown up against LGD. You could argue that LGD are a very, very, very solid team, probably one of the top in even China.
They've impressed through this tournament. Like coming into this, they were definitely not the favorites. HGT and DT were probably among the favorites, and LGD kind of come from nowhere. Even after losing in WPC, they just delivered a really great performance for the weekend. And now, 25 minutes in, DT's going for racks.
They're going to fortify the Radiant's first because the tier 2s or tier 1 rather are top and tier 5 getting pushed in. Elder Dragon Form is going to go. The Dragon Tail does not connect for XDD. They have to actually back off. The mech might be there in just a moment here for the Darkseer. In fact, he can use it right now if he wants to. They're thinking about maybe defending in that bottom tier 2. They're going to look to go again here Again, they have super with that Blink Dagger to jump in if they want to, but again, he's an IO, so I don't know if that's the best idea. Force staff initiation from, obviously, Winter is going to be really important. There's the Avalanche going through XD, hitting up that tower as much as possible. There's going to be a living armor there.
Oh, HGT, he gets tossed in by the Rubik, pops the overgrowth, and now CTY is going to work, trying to bring down the IO, who is moving around the fight. Still known as Death Treant, about to die. He is going to go down to air on the side. Now XTD, he's on the way out. Doesn't want to lose this Aegis for nothing. XTT here, well, he's Shadow Bladed up, maybe looking for something, but needs to be very careful. ZSMJ on the side. They're just trying to protect this tiny Aegis.
Yeah, they're doing a really nice job of escorting him back and making sure that he stays alive. They don't want that Freon to come. They know that he's a Lothars.
Oh,
they're going to relocate him back.
Excellent.
That's fine. They're going to actually find XTT out here right now. The Iron Shell is going to go through the surge. He's got no shadow, but he's got no mana for it. XTT getting caught out of position. Shaft shot just a latch him in place. Air finishes him off with the power shot. He's dominating. He's going to move back to the low ground. XTD making sure that these freaking annoying treants are going to be dealt with here as they go for another push mid. So they get 2 kills. They don't lose anybody for DT, I don't believe. They're living armor the tower, so it's still actually pretty healthy. XTD's going to run right in here. CTY,
he's got something to say about this.
No Elder Dragon Form. He just used it not too long ago, but yeah, I mean, XTD's going to town, man. He wants to try to take this. There's the toss back on ZSMJ. Timelapse should be available. He's not going to use it. He's hexed up right now. Ice Blast off the mark. XTD still whacking away at the tower. The Breeze Fire. They really want this, at least tier 3 tower, if not the racks. Look at how fast this goes down. The Focus Fire. There's the Elder Dragon Form. XTD getting Leak Sheet, still very healthy. Toss Avalanche blows up. That poor Treant Protector. They're thinking about going on a ZSMJ. Vacuum back and coming through. They miss whoever it was they were going after. Now they're going to focus on CTY. He pops the BKB. Dragon Tail Telekinesis. XTD still with the Aegis. Now the Sprout is up as well. He might fall. The Aegis is going to go down. Where's the support coming out? Power Shot's going to fly through. Tiny's back up. Full health. Dragon Tail's going to fly. The Tether going through as well. The relocate shouldn't be available. No, it is online right now. The melee Rax is gone. Spell stolen. That'll be tossed. Now, one full set of Rax about to go down, but not before they kill CTY. Godlike for XTD. This guy now playing like it's his tournament life on the line, and it absolutely is. They'll take a set of Rax. They'll back right out of there for DT.
DT looking so good. Reaver the choice now for XDD, and I really like this a lot. He's not getting kited around. There's no reason for him to buy a BKB when all he's doing is hitting buildings and killing heroes. No one's really doing anything to stop him at all. Overgrowth doesn't, BKB doesn't help against that anyway, so things going well here for DT at 28 minutes. They have a massive gold lead, almost 20,000 XP. Looks pretty similar, and the graphs are scary for HGT. And Dragon Knight, well, CTY, he's bought back. He's coming back into the fight. They're afraid here for their last rack, but they're out.
Well, here's the important thing to know, Greg. Remember, these tiebreakers, they're decided on time rating if everything comes down to a tie, essentially. So, I think there's 3 teams playing for the 4th place tiebreaker.
I think it's third. Yeah.
Again, we can have a 1-1-1 tie. We've had that before, I believe. No, it was actually, we haven't had that yet in these tiebreakers just yet. So, there is this possibility that if HGT can take this game long enough, that they can hold out, get another victory, and essentially just beat out another team based on time rating alone. So they'll draw this as long as possible, and DT are okay with that, I think, as long as they get the victory here. They just want to make sure that they play methodically, they don't make any mistakes, and they just secure the tier 3 and the Raxes. But they can play a bit aggressive here. They can even shut down HGT. They can get a win here in the next couple of minutes as long as they go straight in for a set of Raxes. They don't need to be patient anymore. They've got all of their items online. There's really nothing stopping them at this point from taking this game, I believe.
BKB is up for Darkseer, just to make sure nothing fishy happens with his initiation. It's a very safe item. Tries to get XCT, misses with the vacuum, and as well, the Windrunner has gone for a Maelstrom, helping clear out all the creeps that are coming up from this Nature's Prophet. Eventually, that guy was probably hoping to go for a Necro Book. He's been completely shut down, so that's not even an option.
Yeah.
But this is a good foresight in the future. It's good against Call as well. All those little treants running around. XCD now going to work, walking up the hill, smacking the tower. He did steal Avalanche. I'm not sure that's going to cause too much. CTY drops the stun, immediately hexed up, and there's the vacuum wall. What an initiation by DT! XTD helping them go to work, and 2 already One falls, Brian, he's out. CTY, he leaves. The SMJ has the time lapse over. The A ulti was on top of it all, and that's just such a strong
tower
Dream
is
Time.
under
And
attack.
honestly, this game
Dire's
was
top
all but
tower
over for
has
HGT.
fallen.
Yeah, they're going to try to ride it out with this Ninja Profit, pushing way back in that top lane, but the set of racks
Dire's top
it
barracks
clearly
has
is going to fall
fallen.
here. XDD now going
Dire's
straight
know,
to the
man.
tier 4s. They want this
Time
time
rating.
rating.
Time
This is
rating
important
abounds.
right now. CTY, no BKB. They'll try to stave off any sort of aggression here.
Dire's top barracks
They're going to move
has
down bottom
fallen.
instead. They want to just clear up this last set of racks that's in their way, get the Mega Creep and finish it a bit quicker. So for DT, they want to finish this off. The game is all but theirs right now, barring a huge collapse, which I don't even think is possible at this
Yeah,
point.
they're up. They're at Mega.
Dire's
The game's
bottom
just about
barracks
over, but
has
HGT
fallen.
holding on for that time
Dire's bottom
rating. Like you
barracks
mentioned, there's the Hex on CTY. He's up in the air and blows up once again.
Radiant's
Dream
bottom
EU
tower is
takes
under
that
attack.
kill, but a great performance here from DT. They perhaps get a little bit lucky with the execution
Dire's
of the
middle
lanes
tower
by
is under
HGT,
attack.
choosing not to go aggro. But
Dire's middle tower
beyond
has
that, they had
fallen.
very good execution through this game. The dual lane middle went well. Great relocating ganks. The H
Dire's
number
middle
has been on
tower
with
has
the ultis, and Air has hit a lot of great shots.
Yeah, absolutely. This has just been a solid game from Dream Time. HGT,
Dire's
their
ancient
draft I
is
felt like
under
was fine.
attack.
I don't know how to feel about the lead pick in this game, but I think other than that, I don't know. I feel like this is a solid draft. They could have ran an aggro trialing with the Weaver or even another hero in general, especially against, like a dual lane with a Wind Ranger in it. It would have been difficult to kill them, and I think that's kind of why maybe they didn't. The Wind Ranger pickup kind of like threw them for a loop, but for the most part, I feel like HGT, they had the tools they needed to win that game, and they just got outplayed. And it really came down to that one fight bottom. You think
Yeah,
about that one missed
absolutely.
opportunity where they were going for the tier 1 tower. I think it got denied, and then they just got pressure, and they're like, oh, we got hit by a 4-man Ice Blast coming out from the Ancient Apparition. We're probably going to need to go regen. Instead, they chose to stay and fight, or at least stay around the tower. They
And
got
then
jumped
just got
on,
railed.
and then, yeah, railed, I think, is the correct terminology here. HGT, they go down. Again, there's 3 games to be played, well, 2 games for each team, so they still have a chance to make it into the playoffs. A 31-minute loss is not what they're looking for, but
Yeah, that's a quick loss if it does come down to time rating. We
Yeah.
hope it doesn't.
yes.
Time rating is not my favorite system of organization, but sometimes there are limits. But this is to be seeded in the playoffs here, but it looks like DT are going to be in a good position, winning their first game against what most people would say would be the tougher opponent. Though LGD CDAC, I don't think they dropped the game today.
I think they've been perfect for the most part, and they've played really, really solid Dota. I'm not sure who they beat today, but they had some really, really convincing victories in the games they did win. So that's going to be it for this first game, guys. DT versus HGT in the books. CS versus Tongfu is going on Beyond the Summit. That's downstairs in that studio. I'll be joining them in a bit, probably to obs for these last couple of games, which should be, I'm not sure the order, but Dreamtime versus LGD CDEC, and then obviously HGT versus LGD CDEC as well. So a lot of good stuff coming in right now, and again, the tiebreakers are abound, but we're having a good time with it.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching here. I'm What Is Hip. You can follow me on Twitter at What Is Hip TV. This is Mott at Mott Dota 2. We're a part of High Ground TV. You can follow that at High Ground TV. We've been streaming the qualifiers the first 2 days of each, and then we've been doing obsing and all sorts of random stuff on days 3 and 4. So you can continue to watch that. That'll be all on twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit. On the other days, you can go to beyondthesummit.tv to check out the team page, which shows all of our streams for the qualifiers. But thank you guys for watching this, and go check out twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit for the rest of the tiebreakers for tonight.
Yeah, guys, it's been a pleasure. See y'all later.